What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got more of this DC all in. This time with the debut issue of Absolute Wonder Woman. And if you guys missed the first Absolute issue under this all in label, then I'll put a link up at the top of the screen. And I'll put a card at the end of the video as well. But in this new universe created by Darkseid, all of the heroes in DC are born into a world, this time without any of the advantages that they had in the original universe, and bred in a world of turmoil, which we saw with the debut issue of Absolute Batman, who was born into a world without ever having any of his riches. His dad was a teacher, and his mom was a social worker, and he grew up in Crime Alley. But if you guys thought these new origins couldn't begin any darker, then hold my beer. Because Absolute Wonder Woman in this universe was raised in actual hell. So if you guys are ready to find out what kind of Wonder Woman we get without ever being raised in paradise with her Amazon sisters, then you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So this story kicks off with a news broadcaster in Gateway City, California, just as a massive upside down pyramid type structure appears over the coast from out of nowhere. And the reporter on the scene is absolutely terrified when it appears, and he has his cameraman cover this massive structure before he begins to report on it. And as he does, these red creatures begin flying out of it, causing all of the people in the area to start running hysterically. But that's when a warrior comes flying in from seemingly out of nowhere, riding a Pegasus skeleton, wielding a big-ass Final Fantasy sword, cutting through these demonic creatures. As then there's a narration given that states once upon a time, there was a princess, and the princess had all of the gifts any princess could hope to have. Beauty, grace, compassion, kindness, wisdom, the ability to outrun a hellhound and conjure the darkest of magics. Things every princess needs when she was raised in hell. As the woman is revealed to be Wonder Woman when she clicks her wrists together like the Wonder Woman we're familiar with. But this move creates an explosion that takes out all of the flying creatures, and showing us that this is definitely not going to be the Wonder Woman that we're used to. And then we pick up years ago on the wild Isle of Hell, the prison of the great sorceress Circe, as the god Apollo descends on her, bringing her a baby that he tells her is now hers. And of course, her first question is, why have you brought a baby to hell? So he tells her that this baby is Diana, princess of Themyscira. She is the last of the Amazons, and she has been taken from them by my father, Zeus, as punishment for their crimes against the gods. Her home is now hell, and you are her warden, he tells Circe. She may never again be reunited with her Amazon sisters, and they will be imprisoned for eternity when their service to Zeus ends. And then he bans Circe from ever being able to say the word Amazon ever again. Meanwhile, she thinks to herself that he is afraid of this baby. But why? But then Apollo requests for Circe to try and say the word Amazon so he can see if it worked. And when she tries to say it, it doesn't come out. Then as Apollo leaves, Circe reminds him that this is hell. What if the baby dies? But he responds that the gods care not. This is where she belongs now, for however long she is. And then he leaves. And once he does, Circe calls him a sorry excuse for a god. But it's clear that she has no idea how to take care of this baby. And she even thinks to herself that surely this baby will die without care. But I am no mother. And since I was not tasked with keeping her alive, this will just take care of itself, I suppose. As she sits baby Diana down and notices a snake slithering towards her, now thinking that it appears that it's very much about to take care of itself. And perhaps the gods are not so willing to leave things to chance. Will the gods send one thing after another to kill the child until it's done, she wonders? If they do, she is doomed whether I take an interest or not. And as the snake goes to attack baby Diana, she just coos and grabs the snake and then straight up yeets it into the distance. Well, Circe thinks, as she now gains an interest in Diana. Then we fast forward a little bit as baby Diana is now crawling while Circe is doing some cooking. And as Diana tries to play with the little hell lizard, it breathes fire in her face, prompting her to pick this little demon lizard up and reprimand it before giving it a kiss and putting it back down. And as time progresses, Cersei thinks that plenty of things tried to kill her. Kill them. But there was no overwhelming force of creatures bent on Diana's destruction as Cersei had originally feared. And Diana had a quality that softened even the most treacherous beasts. And as she gets older, she begins to question things like, in this book she reads and wonders why the boy in the story is hurting the tree, and she doesn't like it. But Cersei informs her that that's part of the lesson. And Diana's like, why doesn't the tree understand what's happening? And Cersei's response is that maybe it does and accepts it. And although it looks dead, it can come back with love and magic. Then Diana says to Cersei, Mother, there's a word. Do you know this word? And Cersei's like, what is it? You haven't said it yet. And where Diana responds that I'm not sure it's real, Cersei tells her that it's real if you say it. And as Diana gets older, she has to fight off more and more hell creatures attacking, and Cersei now thinks that raising a child is how you fall in love, but letting them go is how you prove your love. And then we pick back up with now as Diana stands over all of the fallen creatures from her explosion, as she sends her Pegasus to monitor the perimeter. Then she finds a nearby soldier and asks to be taken to a superior. Then she tells them that they need to evacuate all of the citizens within a mile. And although the soldier thinks that these creatures are all dead, she lets them know that they're only stunned. Plus, they're not what's coming, but only harbingers for what is to come. But then she notices that the pyramid structure is starting to open up, and she tells the soldiers that they're out of time. Evacuate the civilians and bring your army as this giant bird-like creature crawls out and stands before Diana as she tells it that you are not welcome, Harbinger Prime. This world will defend itself. I stand before you with the mythical Athena blade, forged by Hephaestus himself. It is more than capable of sending you to your maker. Go back wherever you came from and tell whatever you herald that you were mistaken. This world is protected. But the creature bears down on Diana and proclaims, but it is not, prompting Diana to call for her Pegasus, who flies in, breathing flames at the creature. And then as Diana tries to attack, the creature fires eye lasers at her. Then the creature yells for his harbingers to rise and sow chaos and prepare the way. And Diana now can only watch as all of the harbingers that she had just taken out begin to awaken and attack once more. And when she stands back to her feet, the giant creature fires on her some more as she now dodges his blast. Again, you stand. We are not amused, the creature tells her, as she then redirects his blast with her wrist gauntlet, sending it right back at the creature's face, pissing it off even more, as it tells her that we warned you, before it fires an even higher powered blast from its eyes, sending Diana flying. As we pick back up in the past with an older Diana talking with Cersei and asking her once again about this word. It's important, she tells Cersei, but then she says that she's afraid. And where Cersei responds, my girl fears so little, Diana replies, but I am afraid. You're not afraid of a word, Cersei tells her. You're afraid of the change saying it will bring. But how can I know a word without having ever heard it, Diana questions. How can it beat in my chest so powerfully without knowing what it means? So Cersei tells her to say the word, say it and know it is what you are. And Diana says the word, Amazon. And as she tries to stand in present day after that massive blast, she continues to think back to that day where she first spoke the word Amazon. As she asks, what does it mean, mother? Cersei responds that it is simply what you are, Diana. You are But Cersei still can't get the word out, as she tells Diana that when Apollo first brought Diana to her, he banned Cersei from ever saying it again. So Diana's like, why would they do that? But Cersei responds, why indeed, my darling girl. And when Diana realizes that they didn't want her to know that she's an Amazon and that they took her away from them, she again questions why. Cersei tells her that it's because her people had a job to do. They protected the world above from the oldest of monsters, which want only to feast on it. And without Diana's people, the world above never makes it this far. Without them, maybe this is the end. Or perhaps you will say your name again and become what you were always meant to be. Amazon. I'm an Amazon, Diana proclaims. As Cersei makes her repeat it over and over, she says it again in present day as she stands back up to her feet. Away, warrior. You are beaten, the monster tells her. Leave us, as we must prepare the way. this world is ours now. No, Diana responds, as the demon then tells her that we will continue to hurt you if you insist. But Diana tells it that she does insist, as she begins to now levitate, and Cersei narrates that how you prove your love is by setting your child free and arming her to the teeth with the greatest weapons imaginable, and watching her become everything she was always meant to become, watching her change the world. As Diana flies through the air with her lasso that is now red in this universe, proclaims to the monster that I am Diana of Themyscira, last of the Amazons, daughter of Cersei, princess of Hell, witch of the Wild Isle. And you will not have this world while I still draw breath. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the issue. So what did you guys think about this issue? And how you guys liking the new Absolute Universe so far? I, for one, am really digging these heroes' new darker origins, and I'm really looking forward to seeing where each of them go from here. But you guys know I want to hear all your thoughts and theories and your expectations for this universe moving forward. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video and this channel, and you'd like to support the channel, then you can do so by stopping by the Comics Icon store and picking up some Comics Icons merchandise, including the background music heard right here in this video, available for download. Or by joining the Iconic Fan Club channel membership, and there'll be a link in the description to join. But with your membership, you'll get loyalty badges, member shoutouts, and up to 20% off of Comics Icons merchandise from the Comics Icon store. And even a chance to pick a video of your own choosing for me to post. Plus, we've got tiers to the memberships as well, beginning at just 99 cents. Or you guys can donate to the channel with a super thanks. And if you're not able to do any of that, then you can still help out this channel's future tremendously by dropping a like, share, and subscribing to Comics Icons for more icons in the comic book world. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about that time. I'm out. Peace.